Do you always drunk dial the guy who broke your heart? Or am I just lucky tonight? Those were the first words I heard from him in 2 years, and they punched me harder than the whiskey burning in my throat. It was 1:47 a.m. I was half sober, fully heartbroken, and slumped on the cold concrete steps outside my Brooklyn apartment. The summer air was thick with heat and regret, and my thumb had betrayed me. I'd meant to call Masami current situationship, the guy with commitment issues and abs sculpted by the gods, but instead, I dialed Liam. Liam, the boy who once mapped constellations on my back with his fingers. Liam, who left me on a rainy Tuesday without saying goodbye. And now here he was, standing in front of me in real life, wearing that worn black hoodie I used to sleep in and the same damn smile that made me fall in love in the first place. I blinked, trying to form a sentence that didn't involve sobbing or confessing my lingering love. I didn't mean to call you. He crossed his arms, his body stiff but his eyes soft. You said you missed me. I remembered that.
Gu, I remembered.
I said it so clearly, like a knife gliding through butter, soaked in truth. I didn't think he'd pick up, and I definitely didn't think he'd come. I pushed myself to stand, swaying slightly. That was a mistake. Liam stepped closer. Then why did it sound so real? I had no answer. Or maybe the answer was too real, too raw, too much. We stood there, the city humming softly around us, our silence louder than the subway below. It was the kind of moment that makes or breaks you. 2 years ago, I would have thrown myself into his arms without hesitation. But 2 years ago, I was naive. I thought love fixed everything. Now I knew better. You shouldn't have come, I whispered. You shouldn't have stopped trying, he replied. Those words cracked something open in me. I turned away, unable to face the weight of what we were, what we used to be. But Liam didn't let me walk. Not this time. I made a mistake, he said, voice trembling. I thought leaving was protecting you. I thought I was the problem. You were. I shot back, and immediately hated the bitterness in my voice. He nodded, accepting it like a punishment he believed he deserved. I was broken. I didn't know how to let someone love me without hurting them. I laughed bitterly. And now you do? I'm trying. I looked at him, then really looked. The boy I once loved had become a man. There were more lines around his eyes, more sadness in the way he stood. But the sincerity in his gaze hadn't changed. I can't do this again, I said, voice cracking. I'm not asking for forever, he murmured. I'm asking for coffee. My heart clenched. I wanted to scream. I wanted to kiss him. I wanted to erase the last 2 years and start over. Instead, I said, tomorrow, noon, that place on 5th. He smiled, that damn smile. I'll be there. The cafe smelled like memories and espresso. I wore my best shirt, the one Liam used to steal, and arrived 10 minutes early because apparently I still hadn't learned patience. At 12:02, he walked in.
No fanfare.
No dramatic music. Just him, looking nervous and hopeful. I didn't think you'd actually show, I admitted as he sat down. I didn't think you'd actually invite me. We laughed. The ice cracking, melting, slipping into warm familiarity. I've been in therapy, he said after a moment. For a year now. That surprised me. I looked at him again, seeing the weight he'd shed and the peace trying to grow in its place. I still mess up, he continued, but I've learned to stop running. I stirred my coffee. I don't need you to be perfect, Liam. I just need you to stay. He reached across the table and touched my hand. Warmth flooded through me like sunlight after winter. I can do that, he said. The weeks that followed were cautious steps on old ground. We didn't call it dating. We called it rebuilding, relearning, forgiving. Some nights we just sat on my couch, knees touching, watching old movies and pretending the past didn't ache. Other nights we cried, openly, honestly. He told me about the guilt, the panic attacks, the way he used to stare at my name in his phone and feel like he didn't deserve to say it out loud. I told him about Mason, about the loneliness that followed Liam, about how no one else ever made me feel like home. And slowly, impossibly, we became us again. One night, months later, we were lying in bed. My head on his chest, our fingers tangled. "I still think about that night," he whispered. "The night you called." I chuckled. "I was wasted. You were honest." I turned my face up to his. "Do you regret coming?" "Not for a second." He kissed me then soft, sure, sacred. And I knew. Sometimes the wrong call leads you to the right place. Sometimes saying "I miss you" is exactly what the other person needed to hear to find their way back. And sometimes love doesn't die. It just waits until you're ready to try again. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.